Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen, and you are welcome to the final video. That's the fourth video for the information data management. Without wasting much time, let me share my screen again, and then we continue from where we left. So we now move to slide number 46. Okay, yeah, so with slide number 46, we begin with those people who are responsible for the creation and the management of the databases. We have some IT guys who specialize in database management, database design, and so on and so forth. So that's what we talk about. We say the database analysts and administrators are responsible for managing and coordinating all the database activities. So if you're enjoying every database, being it the WhatsApp you enjoy, or other collaborative databases like the Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth. Most of the time, they are done by the database analysts and the database administrators. So the database analyst, the work he or she does is decides on proper placement of the fields, define data relationship, and identify users' access privileges. So you realize we talk about the files, we talk about the records, we talk about the fields, we talk about the characters, and then we also talk about the access privileges and so on and so forth. So that's the work of the database analyst. So he is the one who will decide that, let's say, student ID must come before the student name. The student name must come before gender and so on and so forth. That's why he's saying he decides on proper placement of the fields, define the data relationship. What the relationship between, let's say, the lecturer and the student. What about the student and the courses, the lecturer and the courses, the student and the residents, and so on and so forth. So it's the work of the database analyst to do all these things. And then in terms of access privileges. The next one is the database administrator. The term we say DBA, and DBA is quite common. Almost every large organization, they may have a DBA or even more than one DBA. So here you say, creates and maintains the data dictionary, manages security of the database, monitors the performance of the database, and checks backup and recovery procedures. So the work of the DBA is quite bulky because he's the one who should make sure that in terms of security and then in terms of recovery and so on and so forth, all these things are adhered to. So when it comes to the data dictionary, the work of the DBA, then he must also monitor the performance of the database. So when you go, you want to access, let's say online banking, you want to check your account balance and transfer funds by it's all working. Then maybe the DBA, there's something wrong in terms of performance of the database, and the DBA is supposed to maybe check. So that's why we're saying they create and maintain the data dictionary, they manage security of the database, they monitor the performance of the database, and also they do check backup and the recovery procedure. So anytime something goes wrong, it's the work of the DBA to make sure he or she fixes or recover it. Now we move to another aspect of the lecture, and that's about what we call information systems in the enterprise. So what is the information systems itself, and what does it entail? So we say the information system is made up of what? A set of hardware, software, data, people, and procedures that work together to produce information. This is very, very important. In other words, when we started, we talk about data, we talk about database, we talk about what information. We said when data is processed, then it gives us what? The information that can be meaningful and so on. But you realize the data itself needs someone to be key into the system. And what is the person going to use to key the data in? That's the hardware. And then the person using the hardware must always go refer to software. So the interface that enables the person to do the keying to the hardware is also the software. And the data that the person is going to work on is also there. And the one who is doing it is the people. And there are so many procedures that are also followed when it comes to this thing. For instance, if it comes to registration of courses, what do? You must first pay your tuition. So paying of the tuition may involve several means. Maybe go to the bank and pay, or cash and come and pay at the cash office, or come and pay through your debit or credit card. These are all different procedures. And that's why we are saying when we talk about the information system, it's not just about the hardware or software, but And when we put all of them together, so the set of the hardware, software, data, people, and procedure, which work together to give us the information we need, that's what we term as the information system. So we have different types of information systems that are used by different departments of what they call functional units in an enterprise. So an enterprise, we said, is a very large organization that's made up of different branches and having different, maybe doing different things. And so on. So you look at the functional unit and you look at the information system that they use. So if you talk about human resource, for instance, they need a human resource information system. So that's why I'm saying the human resource information system manages one or more administrative human resource functions, such as maintaining and managing employee benefits schedules and payroll. So that's the work of the HR. They must hire and they must fire, and they must also give remuneration, recommend how much you'll be paid you in terms of allowances, your salary, and so on and so forth. So that's the work of them. But in doing so, they need some kind of system, and the system they use is what they term as the HRIS or Human Resource Information System. Then we have the engineering or product development, and what do they do? So you say it's a computer-aided engineering aids in the development and testing of product design, and often include the CAD or the computer-aided design. So when we talk about software, we talk about some of these functional units and how they use software for their business. That's what we are talking about. So those people in engineering, those people in architecture, they also use the computer-aided design or computer-aided engineering tools for their work. Manufacturing, they use the computer-aided engineering or computer-aided manufacturing controls, production equipment such as drills, lathes, and milling machines. So they also have their system that they use in terms of the products that they produce. So we say material requirements planning is another system. Monitors and controls inventory, material purchases, and other processes related to manufacturing operations. So in other words, the MRP is the one that will help them in terms of how much they should produce, the material that they need to produce, and so on. So if you take Unilever, for instance, or a company that is producing chocolate, how many cocoa beans do you need for you to get, let's say, 1 pound of chocolate? The MRP should be able to tell you. Manufacturing resource planning tool is an extension of the MRP that also includes product packaging and shipping, machine scheduling, financial planning, demand forecasting, tracking labor productivity, and monitoring product quality. So for instance, Coca-Cola, for instance, how many bottles should they produce in a day? The manufacturing resource planning system should be able to tell them. Then they should know where they are going to ship their products to, which supermarkets are ready to accept them, and how many should you ship to them, and all those things. So all this through the manufacturing resource planning system, they are able to determine, and that's why they don't overproduce and they also don't underproduce. So that always the product is in the market. Because if you overproduce and people do not buy, then it will expire and then you lose. So you need a system that will determine all this for you. Marketing people, they need some software as well. So the market research system analyze data gathered from demographics and surveys. So through the marketing system, they are able to analyze their data and they will know the buying pattern of people and so on and so forth. Then sales, Salesforce automation, help salesperson manage customer contacts, schedule customer meetings, log customer interactions, manage product information, and place customer orders. So the salespeople too must know their customers, and then they should be able to contact them, they should be able to interact them, the customer grievances, and so on. So most organizations are having the customer service, especially those who are into retail and sales. And that's what the system they will do for you. Then the customer service as well. They say customer relationship management manages information about customers, past purchases, interests, and the day-to-day interactions, such as phone calls, email message, web communication, and instant messaging sessions. So the customer relationship management is so important. The company must build good relationship with their customers. Loyalty is key. It's not only about satisfaction, but once customers are satisfied, then they will be loyal to the organization. And that's why some people queue to buy iPhone, even when it's not yet in the market. They will know that it's going to be released on this date, and then they will go and queue for it to be in the market, and then they will buy. And it's all about the relationship that Apple has built with its customers in terms of the brand and the product that they come out with. So we have one system that is very, very important, and it's something that most big organizations use, and that's why we term as the enterprise resource planning or the manufacturing resource planning. So the enterprise resource planning integrates with the manufacturing resource planning tool, with the information flow across an organization to manage and coordinate the ongoing activities of the enterprise, including product planning, manufacturing and distribution, accounting and finance, sales, human resource, and customer support. So if you look at when we compare the file, approach, the file, processing approach against the database, you realize with the file processing approach, we said each department will build its own file, and once they keep it in their department, there is no sharing, and because of that, it leads to data redundancy and isolation and so on. To avoid that, then we have to build the enterprise resource planning. So once you have the enterprise resource planning, you see that every department within the organization, including even the manufacturing, will be able to know what they should do, and they all talk to the same database, which makes things so easy. And that's why we are saying here, everything that they do, including their product planning, how the product that they are going to come out with in terms of this plan and everything, how they manufacture and distribute, the accounting people and finance will know, the sales people, human resource and customer support, everything is in one system and it makes things so easy and life becomes so easy. So this is a typical enterprise resource planning. So you see the planning and logistics people, you see the purchasing material people, you see the payments people, you see the past inventory people, the production people, the product inventory people, the distribution people, and the billing and collections. And this cuts across the marketing team, the HR team, the customer support, the accounting and finance, and the sales team. So it doesn't matter the department you find yourself, all of them are talking to one big system. And because it's through the enterprise resource planning and they are sharing the database, it becomes so easy for all of them. So it's like a cycle. So from the planning and logistics, it moves to the purchasing materials, which moves to payments, which moves to the past inventory, which moves to the production, which moves to the product inventory, which moves to the distribution after the product is done, which comes to billing and collection, and then it starts again. And these are the people who work on them: the marketing, the HR, the customer support, accounting, finance, sales. Now we also have another information system, and that's what we term as the document management system. We say that DMS rather allows for storage and management of a company's documents, such as word processing, documents, presentations, and spreadsheets. So the document management system is the one that enables us to store documents. So there are so many electronic documents, they have a lot of paper. And when you digitize the paper, let's say you scan it, how do you store it? So there's a system that you can store and you give it an identification. So it doesn't matter the number of years, you can finish school. Anytime you come to Lagos and you say you want your transfer, with your student ID, you'll be able to retrieve through the DMS. Then we also have what they call the content management system. And this one is more about website building and so on and so forth. So it's about building content that you can share among the public. So it's a content management system. It enables and manages the publishing, modification, organization, and access of various forms of documents and other files, including media and web pages on a network or the web. So that's the underlying principle. So you just, manage the publishing of your documents, and then you want it to be out there. So it's just about managing the publishing, modification, organization, and access of those forms in terms of documents and other files that you can put out there for everybody to see. Transaction, but why do we build this? Content management is very important because that's the one that enables you to showcase your products, your brand, what you stand for. So if you say you are University of Ghana, what do? You should tell the rest of the world. Somebody is in Afghanistan, want to know much about University of Ghana. The content that you put on your website, the one that will let the person understand. A transaction processing system is an information system which captures and processes data from day-to-day business activities. As the name implies, this is more about operations. So when it comes to the transactions that we do, paying of school fees, withdrawing from the ATM, paying for the grocery, and so on and so forth, all of them are what we term as transaction processing. And there are systems that are used to capture those data. That's what we say is an information system which captures and processes data from the day-to-day business activities at the operational level. So somebody may do some reservation. Let's say you want to book an airline. So reservation is a request is sent to the transaction processing system, to what we call the online transaction processing system. Then let's say it started at 7 a.m. Then at 7:07, it hits the airline database, and then you are able to make your reservation. let's say around 10 p.m. And then there are so many, what do you call it, transactions that may hit the system. So this one is maybe just one from us, but by 10 p.m. from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., a lot of the reservations might have done, and that's why we are having so many of them showing here. All these are, like I said, about transactions. So anytime that you want to procure something, you talk to a transaction processor. When you are making payment, you talk to a transaction processor. So when you even buy a scratch card and then you scratch it and you load it, you are talking to a transaction processor. When you go and pay your water bill and electricity bill, they are all transaction processors that you are interacting with. Then we have the MIS, or the Management Information System. So here we say it's an information system which generates accurate, timely, and organized information so that managers and other users can make decisions, solve problems, supervise activities, and track progress. In other words, the transaction processing systems are usually at the operational level. So here is operational manager that will deal with it. As you climb the ladder, then you meet the middle level management, and they will deal with the MIS, the Management Information System. That one, they need more about accurate, timely, and organized information. So they need report that will help them in making decisions. So there's a typical MIS report. So you see the detailed flight report from March 30th. You have the flight numbers, you have the destinations, you have the class or numbers of passengers, and you also have the Premier Club members. Then when you come to the summary flight report for March 30th, then you see that 1048, all the passengers, we count them. Then 543, we count them. So this is something that is meaningful and it's so easy for every manager to take decisions out of it. So we know that when we take flight 1048, the destination is from ORD to RSW. I don't know, there are two different cities. Then that flight is 708 passengers, and then those who are Premier Club members are 33. If you take flight 543, two different cities again, then it's what? 24 passengers and 12 are Premier. Flight 715, the same, 160, 62 are Premier. 701, 26 passengers, 10 are Premier. So once you have something like this, it becomes so easy for you to make decisions. Now we also have the one that is also used at the middle level, and that's termed as the decision support system. So here I say it helps users analyze information and make decisions. So most of the time, people in finance, accounting, and the rest, they want to know more about whether the organization is doing well or not doing well. So they build these systems that will help them to analyze. So the moment you plug in or you put in the products, then it will analyze and let you know whether you are doing well or not well. So if you look at here, the store scorecard, for instance, the products are being showed here, and then you see the maybe number of products, so the year trend, and so on. So those that are not doing well, you see some red. Those that are doing well, you see green. Once you see this, you'll be able to make decisions and work on them. Now we have what we also call an expert system, and you say it's an information system which captures and stores the knowledge of human experts and then imitates human reasoning and decision making. So here we now have new information systems coming, that like what we call the artificial intelligence. It has been there for some time, but now it's coming more again, making the computer behave as if it's a human being. And that's what the expert systems are all about. So it's just an IS which captures and stores the knowledge of human. So experts knowledge like doctors, architects, engineers, and so on and so forth, computer scientists, and all of them are put together in a system. And then the computer is now thinking as if it's a human being. That's what it is. So it captures and stores the knowledge of human experts and then imitates human reasoning and decision making. And that's what artificial intelligence has come. And these days it's being used for so many things. Some people are, some developers and vendors are trying to let artificial intelligence even replace human beings. They want robots to take over in terms of manufacturing, robots to take over in terms of sales and marketing, robots to take over in terms of even doctors, lecturers, and so on and so forth. But I don't think it will happen. So that's the end. In summary, we have looked at how data and information are valuable assets to an organization. We also look at methods for maintaining high quality data. We also look at assessing the quality of valuable information. We also look at the advantages of organizing data in the database. We also look at various types of databases, roles of database analysts and database administrators, database design guidelines, and lastly, information systems use. And so this is the end of this lecture, that information and data management. So like I said, this is also the last lecture for the semester, but I'll do some tutorials that I'll be uploading after week 11. So week 12, maybe I'll put some tutorials, but this lecture that I've done, the 4 videos are going to cover us for the next 2 weeks. So from next week's date is what, let me check, Monday, which is going to be 4th. Yeah, so from 4th May up to the end of the week till 18th May, you need this video that I've done for you. Then from 18th May to the end, I'll do some tutorials that will assist you in terms of your preparation for the online exams, or even if by then we are hoping how we can meet for the face-to-face exams and so on and so forth. So thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Like I keep on saying, don't let the COVID-19 pandemic, stress you down too much. Just relax, have fun, enjoy your life, eat well, sleep well, and then also study. That's all. Everything is going to be fine. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.